You're going to watch for me because I'm going to give you the international close the arc curtain symbol, which is this. Very sophisticated. And then you'll close the arc curtain. And then we'll shake hands and we'll return to your seats. Okay? Sounds good? All right, if you want to switch so one does one thing and the other does the other. For you, yeah.
Okay, Lucy. Sure you grab Angie, all right?
And Angie.
I knew there was somebody I didn't congratulate.
How are you, sir? Nice
Good.
to see you.
Good.
Thanks for being here.
Awesome.
Good to see you.
Awesome.
Thank you for coming in.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
So after...
Everybody's here.
All right. Angie, Jake. All right, go over and have
Very important.
on the side.
Catch where you grab them. All right. All right. So that's right. You got it. All right. So Casey, Andrea, Cameron, and Eliana Kurtz. All right. You all here? So Casey, Andrea, Cameron, and Eliana, come on up. Come on down. One of my dad and your mom. Wow. So it's so I sometimes like there are times in services. I'm channeling. That's right. I got it. Yeah.
Do you care which way we come up? Do you want us to
No,
run
no.
the side?
However you come up is totally fine. So come up, and what you're going to do is you're going to open up the curtain to begin with.
I went to no time.
No. It's going to be towards the end of the service. It's going to be during the lane, okay? And so you'll see that I'm going to bow. You are welcome. No, don't worry. Keep it just right up. You'll see that I'll bow. You're welcome to bow or just, face in that direction also. And then you'll watch for me. I'll give you the close the curtain signal, right? And we're going to close the arc curtain. Go ahead.
Beautiful day.
And then after the arc curtain is closed, right away you're going to close the doors. Okay? So you don't have to worry about it. Alright, so then you're going to close. Look up when you do because it doesn't close flushing into the wall. Give it a nice look. You got it. I'm going to have that side over. We'll shift it.
Want a picture of the four in front of the bar? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Alright, very good.
Okay, Angie, went to the back.
Thank you. Alright, then we are ready. Yeah. Awesome.
Hey, Lucy.
And he gets done and the rabbi says,
It's a yum, it's a keeper.
Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and Boker Tov. It is so good to be together on this absolutely beautiful day as we see the sun streaming through the windows, and certainly this morning there was a beautiful sunrise. And in case you missed it, you now have the opportunity to see a beautiful sunrise within our sanctuary too, as Lucy becomes bat mitzvah, and as she enters into adulthood within our community and within our congregation and within the Jewish world. And so there is so much beauty for us to reflect upon. And so we're going to begin our service with the singing of Ma Tovu, which you can find in your Siddur, the blue prayer book that is in front of you, page 74, as we reflect on all of the goodness that fills our world and fills our homes and fills our hearts. How good and how blessing.
Ma Tovu, Ma Tovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael, Ma Tovu, Ma Tovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael, Va'ani berov chastecha, Ahavo veitecha, Eshtacha ve'el hechal kodshecha, Be'yiratecha, Ma tovu, Ma tovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael, Adonai ahavti, me'on beitecha, u'mekom mishkan kevodecha, mishkan kevodecha, va'ani eshtachaveh, ve'echra'a, evrecha lifnei Adonai, osi. Ma tovu, Ma tovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael, Va'ani tefilati lecha, Adonai et ratzon, Elohim berov chasdecha, Elohim berov chasdecha, Aneni be'emet yishecha. Ma tovu, Ma tovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael.
Moments ago in my study, an ancient and beautiful tradition took place where Lucy had the talit of tradition placed on her shoulders lovingly by her mom and dad. And it's a reminder of the values that have been passed from generation to generation in her family and now are resting upon her shoulders, where Lucy is going to embody them and bring them into the next generation with all of the goodness and grace that we know that she brings to the world. And in our Siddur on page 88, that's page 88, there's a text that reminds us that when we fulfill certain obligations and take on new adult responsibilities, there's not only a reward in that it brings sustenance and goodness to others, but there's an intrinsic goodness to them that is in itself rewarding. It's a joy that Lucy is going to be leading us in this beautiful text on page 88.
These are things that are limitless, of which a person enjoys the fruit of the world, while the principle remains in the world to come. They are honoring one's father and mother, engaging in deeds of compassion, arriving early for study, morning and evening, dealing graciously with guests, visiting the sick, providing for the wedding couple, accompanying the dead for burial, being devoted in prayer, and making peace among people. But the study of Torah encompasses them all.
Because it leads to them all. We are now going to turn in our Siddur to page 106. Page 106, as we are going to join together in the Chatzi Kaddish. Amen.
V'yimeru amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam yomei Maya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei dekudasha
Brichu
le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata dami rabbi Amen.
We now rise as we turn in our Siddur to page 108 for the call to worship.
Baruchu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach le'olam va'ed.
We continue now in the Hebrew on page 110.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer or uvorei oseh shalom uvorei et hakol hamir la'aretz v'ladarim alecha barachamim u'tuvo mechadesh b'chol yom tamid ma'aseh v'reshit ma rabu ma'asecha kulam b'chochma asita ma'al ha'aretz kinyanecha Titbarach Adonai Eloheinu al sheva ma'aseh yadecha ve'orei or she'asita yefa'aru ha'sela or chadesh al sion ta'ir v'nizkeh kulanu mechera le'oro Baruch atah Adonai yoter ha'marot.
On page 112, there is a prayer that reminds us of all the love that God holds for each and every one of us. And as we see the light coursing through the windows of our congregation, you can also see the light emanating from all of these people who love you so much. When you look out into the congregation, you see the love in their eyes reflected back at you. And that's how we experience God's love in the world. And so we turn to this prayer on page 112.
How deeply you have loved us, Adonai our God, gracing us with surpassing compassion. On account of our forebears who led you to teach them the laws of life, being gracious to us, teaching us as well. O merciful one, have mercy on us by making us able to understand and discern, to heed, learn, and teach, and lovingly to observe, perform, and fulfill all that is your Torah. Enlighten our eyes with your Torah, focus our minds on your mitzvot, unite our hearts in love and reverence for your name. Then we will never feel shame, never deserve rebuke, and never stumble. You have trusted in your great and awesome and holiness. We shall celebrate your salvation with joy.
Let's read together. Gather us in peace from the four corners of the earth, and lead us upright to our land. For you, O God, work wonders. You chose us. Truly you drew us near to your great name, that we might acknowledge you, declaring you one in love. Praise be you, Adonai, who chooses your people Israel in love. Baruch atah Adonai, abocher be'amo Yisrael be'ahava. We continue now on page 114 with the watchword of our faith, the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
You may be seated. We continue now with Ve'ahavta on page 116.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, וחיו לשותפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children, recite them when you stay home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God.
Adonai Elohechem Emet. We are going to continue now reading responsibly on page 121.
The eternal truth is that you alone are God, and there is none else.
May the righteous of all nations rejoice in your love and exult in your justice.
Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks.
Let nation not lift up sword against nation, nor learn war anymore.
You shall not hate your brother or your sister in your heart.
The stranger that sojourns with you shall be accepted as your equal, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt.
Why do you crush my people and oppress the poor? Asked God.
We know that the Eternal One defends the poor and upholds the rights of the needy.
Praise to God Most High.
Blessed is God and deserving of blessing.
Mi chamolcha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha ne'edar ba'kodesh, nora tehilot osef eleh. שירה חדשה שיבחו גאולים, לשמך על שפת הים, יחד כולם הודו, והמליכו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. צור ישראל, קומה בעזרת ישראל, ופדי חינומך יהודה וישראל. גואלנו אדוני צבאות שמו, קדוש ישראל. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
We are now going to continue with the tefillah, which can be found on page 124. We rise together as one community.
Adonai sifatai titach ufi yagi tehillatech. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanura, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Bekonei Hakol, V'Zoher Hasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Gula Lifnei B'neihem, L'man Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Tzorah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol Atah Rav Lehushi. Mechakeh Chaim Behesed, Mechayeh HaKol Berachamim. Somech Noflim Berofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayeh Emunato, Lishnei Afar. Michamocha Baal Gevirot, Umidomelo, Melech Limit, Umechayeh, Umatmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atal chachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol.
We continue reading responsibly on page 129.
You are the open door that beckons me in. Peeking around the doorframe, I begin to enter in your glory.
You move me forward, O Eternal, to step beyond self-made boundaries. Lift my foot over the threshold that I might abide with you.
In the house of Eternal, I found my questions, waiting to be posed. They fill me with wonder.
Sit with me, Eternal Teacher, encourage my seeking. As I fill my hours with your mitzvot, so shall I be filled.
Send me through your door, stretching up to honor your name, sharing out this wonder, enriching myself in the giving.
Baruch atah Adonai, notea b'tochenu chayei olam.
נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוא כל הארץ כבודו. אדיר אדירנו אדוני אדוננו, מאדיר שמך בכל הארץ. ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם. אלוהיך ציון לדור ודור, הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד לך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש. ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
You may be seated. Turn to page 132. Those who keep Shabbat by calling it a delight will rejoice in your realm. The people that hallow Shabbat will delight in your goodness. For being pleased with the seventh day, you hallowed it as the most precious of days, drawing our attention to the work of creation.
Yismechu v'malechutecha Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat V'korei Oneg Shabbat Yismechu v'malechutecha Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat V'korei Oneg Shabbat Mekadeshei Shvi Shabbat Kulam Yisbeu Ve'itangu mituvecha Shabbat Yismechu v'malechutecha Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat V'korei Oneg Shabbat Yismechu v'malechutecha Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat V'korei Oneg Shabbat Uvashvi Ratzita bo v'kidashto Shabbat Chemdat yamim oto karata Zeichel ma'aseh v'reishit Shabbat Yismechu v'malechutecha Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat V'korei Oneg Shabbat Yismechu v'malechutecha Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat V'korei Oneg Shabbat.
We continue now at the top of page 135, as we read responsively. We offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat, which unites us in faith and hope. For Shabbat holiness, which inspires sacred living. For Shabbat memories glowing even in darkness. For Shabbat peace, born of friendship and love. We offer thanks and blessing, O God. Baruch atah Adonai, Mikadesh HaShabbat. We continue at the top of page 137. Retzei Adonai Eloheinu be'amcha Yisrael, u'tefilatam be'ava tikabel, u'tehi l'ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer, wherever we live, wherever we seek you. In this land, and Zion restored in all lands, you are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai. Shotecha levadacha b'yirah na'avod. We turn now to page 139, where we find the Hoda'ah prayer. It's a prayer that reminds us to be grateful for all of the blessings that come into our lives. On mornings such as this, we may feel grateful for the turning of the seasons, as we see the beauty of the sunshine coursing through our windows and into our hearts. We might feel grateful for the gift of being able to join together as community, as friends and family together. Over the past few years, we can't take that for granted. And certainly we are feeling grateful for a young woman who's taking her place as an adult within the Jewish community this morning. And so if you have reason to feel grateful this morning, I invite you to say the Hebrew words, Modim anachnu lach, after each of these readings. For the expanding grandeur of creation, worlds known and unknown, galaxies beyond galaxies, filling us with awe and challenging our imaginations. Modim anachnu lach. For this fragile planet Earth, its times and tides, its sunsets and seasons. Modim anachnu lach. For the joy of human life, its wonders and surprises, its hopes and achievements. Modim anachnu lach. For human community, our common past and future hope, our oneness transcending all separation, our capacity to work for peace and justice in the midst of hostility and oppression. Modim anachnu lach. For high hopes and noble causes, for faith without fanaticism, for understanding of views not shared. Modim anachnu lach. For all who have labored and suffered for a fairer world, who have lived so that others might live in dignity and freedom. Modim anachnu lach. for human liberties and sacred rights, for opportunities to change and grow, to affirm and choose. Modim anachnu lach. We pray that we may live not by our fears, but by our hopes, not by our words, but by our deeds. Blessed are you, Adonai, your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha u'cha na'eh lehodot.
Sim shalom tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael amecha. Barchenu yotzreinu kulanu ke'echad be'or panecha, ki ve'or panecha natata lanu Adonai Eloheinu. Sim shalom tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael amecha. Torat chaim ve'ahavat chesed u'tzedakah u'veracha v'rachamim, v'chaim v'shalom, v'chaim v'shalom. Sim shalom tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, al kol Yisrael amecha. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael, b'chol eit u'v'chol sha'a bishlomecha. Sim shalom tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, al kol Yisrael amecha. Baruch atah Adonai, hamavarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom.
With these words of peace still echoing in our hearts and minds, we take this time for silent prayer.
We sing together. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
We are now going to be turning in our prayer books to page 244, where we find the Torah service, Seder Kriyat Torah. And Lucy knows that the high point, the center point of our service is when she takes the Torah, when we take the Torah from the ark and carry it amidst our community. And it's a symbol that Torah and its beautiful values and ideals are for all of us. It's not just something that is kept up here on the bima for the officiants, but it belongs to all of us. And it's meaningful that she'll be carrying into our congregation one of two Holocaust scrolls that we have here at Congregation Shalom. And we tell the story of this Holocaust scroll each and every week. This scroll is about 125 years old, and it comes from Poland. And it's beautifully written. And whoever the scribe was truly at the height of their craft. And like all Torah scrolls, this Torah scroll was much loved by the community that would gather around it and study it and absorb its wisdom. And there was one gentleman that was part of this group that particularly loved this Torah scroll because it's light and it's easy for young people to read. And so when the Nazis amassed upon the Polish border, this man had a sense of what might befall the Jewish community. And so he hid the Torah scroll away. And sure enough, when the Nazis entered into Poland and crossed that border, initiating the Second World War, they came to towns like this man and the Torah was residing. And they took Jews to concentration camps and death camps. This man was taken to Auschwitz-Birkenau, where life expectancy would have been just a matter of days. But this man was able to survive there until the end of the hostilities and the camp was liberated. While it was truly a miracle, who knows what untold horrors this man was seeing in that camp. But when the camp was liberated, he returned to where he had hidden the Torah scroll away and brought it to a small surviving remnant that was meeting in the once such vibrant Jewish city in Poland, where Jewish life was just extraordinary. But now there was only a tiny remnant within that city. And for a short time, they continued to gather there until they moved to places such as the United States and Canada and Israel and Western Europe, where there was much more light in their lives. And that is when Congregation Shalom learned about the Torah scroll, and we brought it to Milwaukee. And the purpose of it being sent to the United States is that a Torah is meant to be used, especially by young people, so that they can grow with a sense of spirituality and enable the spark of hope and liberty and freedom for all humanity to be kindled and continued. And that means that when Lucy carries and reads the Torah amidst our community, it doesn't just represent the hard work that she's done and how she's been able to learn from Torah, but it represents how every young person, no matter their religion, their race, their ethnicity, their nationality, can be a source of light unto the world, no matter how much darkness we might see in it. And so it's a meaningful tradition to be passing the Torah from generation to generation in Lucy's dear family. It's a joy now to call upon dear grandparents Rick and Anita Domnitz and Joe and Janet Kurtz, who are going to be standing alongside Angie and Ari Domnitz. And Jake is going to be stepping forward because he has the honor of opening up the Ark doors and standing next to his sister Lucy as she receives Torah. And it's a joy also to call upon Barbara Kane, who is going to open up our Ark doors with Jake. Once again, we are turning in our Siddur to page 244, and we rise together now as we greet the Torah.
En kamocha va'Elohim Adonai ve'en kema'asecha Malchutecha malchut kol olamim Umemshaltecha bechol dor v'dor Adonai Melech, Adonai Malach, Adonai Yimloch leolam va'ed, Adonai Oz le'amo yitein, Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, udevar Adonai mirushalayim. Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, le'amo Yisrael bikedushato.
Zotat Torah, Lucy, as you well know, this is the Torah, and found within it are the values that have been raised high and held dear by your family for generations. The value of being kind and generous of spirit, righteous and giving in the way they live their lives. And it is a joy now to pass this Torah from the generation of your grandparents to the generation of your parents. And now you see it's being placed on your shoulders where it should remain with good health and much strength. We turn now and face the congregation as we recite the watchword of our faith, the Shema. Just one moment. Are you ready? Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo, Gadlul Adonai iti, Uneromema Shemo Yachtav, Lecha Adonai HaGedula, VeHaGevura, VeHaTiferet, VeHaNetzach, VeHaChod, Kicho Bashamayim Uvaretz, Kicho Bashamayim Uvaretz, Lecha Adonai HaMamlacha, VeHamitnaseh Lechol Rosh. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama.
be seated. We invite you now to reach and grab a chumash that may be in front of you so that you can follow along in our Torah reading. Our Torah reading for today comes from the Parsha Naso, and it comes from the book of Numbers. It can be found in your Hertz Chumash on page 587. That's page 587. And there's something very special about a family that reads Torah together, so it's a joy to call upon Becca Domnitz, who's going to be our first Torah reader, to step forward as she has the honor of reading Torah. And it's also a joy to call upon our first Aliyah to Torah, to call upon Scott Schmidt and Dan Schmidt and Leslie Schmidt and Lisa Newman and Steve Newman and Andy and Amy Schmidt. Ya'amdu Ezra ben Shabbatai v'Chana v'Naftali ben Shabbatai v'Chana v'Shmuel ben Ruven v'Tzipporah v'Sara Bela bat Shabbatai v'Chana Avraham Mordechai ben Shabbatai v'Chana v'Malka Elana bat Moshe v'Sharon. Goes.
Baruch Adonai Barach.
Baruch Adonai Barak Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Barach Leolam Vaed. Baruch Atah Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Notein HaTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Uvkudei b'nei Gershon L'mishbechotam Olved Avotam Mi ben shaloshim shana v'mala ve'ad ben chamishim shana kol haba latzava la'avoda be'ohel moed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natan b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai notein HaTorah.
Amen.
Yesher Koach, and if you'd like to come stand on my left side, for those of you who are following along, we are on Numbers chapter 4, verse 40. It's a joy now to call upon our second Aliyah, to call for Rita and Larry Domnitz. Ya'amdu Rachel bat Yaakov ve'Hermina ve'Aaron le ben Chaim ve'Chayka.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Barak Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Vaed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Torat Emet. Baruch Atah Adonai Notein HaTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayhu pekudehem L'mishbechotam Leved Avotam Alpayim V'shesh me'od u'shloshim Ela pekudei Mishbechot b'nei Gershon Kol ha'oved be'ohel moed Asher pakad Moshe ve'Aharon al pi Adonai Uvkudei Mishbechot b'nei Merari L'mishbechotam Leved Avotam.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Natan Lanu Torah Emet V'chayei Olam Notah B'Sachenu. Baruch Atah Adonai Notein HaTorah.
Amen.
Yesher Koach and Mazel Tov, beautiful Aliyah. They say that the family that chants Torah together stays together. So it's a joy to now call upon Ari, who's going to be reading the next section of Torah. And it's also a joy to call upon Noah and Rebecca Domnitz, dear aunt and uncle, for the third Aliyah. Ya'amdu Rachmiel David ben Beruven ve'Aviva Chaya ve'Rivka Leora bat Velvel Zelig ve'Bela.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamborach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Leolam Vaed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol hamim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Mi ben shloshim shana uvamala ve'ad ben chamishim shana kol haba lavoda latzava lavoda be'ohel moed vayu fikudehem lemishpachotam shalosh alafim umatayim ele pikudei mishpachot b'nei Merari Asher pakad Moshe ve'Aharon al pi Adonai biyad Moshe.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nota b'tochenu. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Yesher Koach. What a wonderful aliyah. It's now a joy to call upon dear grandparents, to call upon Rick and Anita Domnitz, and Joe and Janet Kurtz. Ya'amdu Mendel Reuven ben Chaim v'Chaika ve'Aviva Chaya bat Zelig v'Sora. And it's also a joy that Lucy is now our closing Torah reader, the closer for the day.
Baruch Hu es Adonai Hamborach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach le'olam voed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Kol hapekudim asher pakad Moshe ve'Aharon u'nesiei Yisrael et haleviim u'mishpachotam u'leveit avotam bimen shloshim shana v'mala ve'ad ben hamishim shana kol haba ve'avod avodat ve'avodat masa be'ohel moed Vayu fikudehem shmonat alafim v'chamesh me'od u'shimonim.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nota b'sochenu. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Mazel tov.
And there is something beautiful about seeing 3 generations up here at Torah. And now it's a joy to call upon Ari and Angie. You guys are on Rabbi's other side. Ya'amdu Avram Chaim ben Mendel Reuven ve'Aviva Chaya ve'Ahava Miriam bat Avraham v'Sara ve'Yaakov Tzvi ben Avram Chaim ve'Ahava Miriam.
Baruch
Hu et Adonai Hamborach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Al pi Adonai pakad otam biad Moshe ish al avodato ve'al masao ufekudav asher tiva Adonai et Moshe vayedaber Adonai el Moshe lemor tzav et bnei Yisrael vayeshalchu min hamachaneh kol tzarua v'chozav v'chol tamei lanafesh.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Ta'amod, ta'amod, ta'amod ha-bat mitzvah. Ta'amod Leah bat Avram Chaim ve'Ahava Miriam hanechbada. It is with great joy and great fanfare that we call Lucy Domnitz to Torah as she becomes bat mitzvah.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamborah.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
Mizachar ad nekeva tishalechu el mihutz lamachane tishalchu velo yitam o et mahanehem asher ani sholchen b'tocham. Vayasu chen b'nei Yisrael vayishalchu otam el mihutz lamachane ka'asher diber Adonai el Moshe ken asu b'nei Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Yesher koach. Oh, I didn't even have to tell you to give your mom and dad a hug and a kiss. And Jake, too. They deserve it. You deserve it. You know, often when we finish a Torah reading, there are things in the text that speak deeply to the person who is reading it and to the family that's reading it. But sometimes the form also is important in that you read right along this seam in the Torah that is sewn together. And when I think about your family and I look out and see your extended family and friends and community that's around you, your family are the type of people that sew and bring people together, that the fabric of our lives, that it's integrated in a sense, that we are woven together in this extraordinary community filled with love for you. And that is something that is so meaningful. And when you read Torah amidst our community, and not only that, when you bring Torah forward with the way you live your life and the values you hold dear, then what you do is you lift that Torah up. And that Torah is held together by love and connection and kindness and friendship. And it's perfect. It was like it was beshert, that it should be that you were reading along this seam in this Torah, in this sacred moment. And so never stop lifting up the Torah and lifting up our community with the actions that you do. I know that you'll continue to do it. And now it's a joy to call upon others who are going to lift and bind our Torah scroll, to call upon the Starkers in the family. It's a joy to call upon Noah Domnitz and Hirsch and Levi Domnitz as we are going to lift and bind our Torah for Hagban Galila. So please rise now as we have the privilege and the honor of lifting our Torah scroll.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה.
You may be seated, and now Lucy is going to read the English translation of her Torah portion.
All the Levites whom Moses, Aaron, and the hyphens of Israel recorded by the clans of their ancestral houses, from the age of 30 years up to the age of 50, all who were subject to duties of service and porterage relating to the tents of meeting. Those who recorded came to 8,580. Each one was given responsibility for his service and porterage at the command of the Eternal through Moses, and each was recorded as the Eternal had commanded Moses. The Eternal One spoke to Moses, saying, "Instruct the Israelites to remove from camp anyone with eruption or discharge, and anyone defiled by a corpse. Remove male and female alike, put them outside the camp, so that they do not defile the camp of those who midst and dwell." The Israelites did so, putting them outside the camp, as the Eternal had spoken to Moses, so the Israelites did.
We turn now to a second biblical reading that we do on every Shabbat, known as the Haftorah. And the Haftorah comes from the section of the Tanakh known as the section of the prophets. And the prophets, some believe, were foretellers predicting a future, but really the prophets were forthtellers. With their actions, with their words, with the way they lived their lives and what they called us to do, they wanted to push society forward to become more just, more holy, and more of a place for peace for all in our communities. And so it's meaningful that Lucy is going to be reading from the book of Judges, chapter 13, verse 8, and can be found in your Hertz Chumash on page 603. That's page 603 in the Hertz Chumash.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'mi'im tovim v'ratzah v'divreihem hana'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai haboher b'torah u'maseh abdo u'Yisrael amo u'v'nbiei ha'emet v'tzedek.
Amen.
Vayitar Manoach el Adonai vayomar bi Adonai ish Elohim asher shalachta yavona od elenu vayorenu manaseh lanar hayolad. Vayishma ha'Elohim b'kol Manoach vayavo malach ha'Elohim od el ha'isha v'hi yoshevet basadek u'manoach isha ein ima. V'timaher ha'isha v'tarat v'tagei l'isha v'tomer elav hinei nir'a elai ha'ish asher ba vayom elai. Vayakom vayelech Manoach aharei ishto vayavo el ha'ish vayomer lo ha'ata ha'ish asher dibarta el ha'isha vayomer ani. Vayomer Manoach ata yavo devarecha mahiyeh mishpat anar u'maasehu. Vayomer malach Adonai al Manoach mikol asher amarti el ha'isha tishamer mikol asher yitzeh migefen hayayin lo tochal v'yayin v'shechar al teish v'chol tum'ah al tochal kol asher tiviticha tishmor. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam tzor kol ha'olamim sadik b'chol hadarot ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer ve'oseh ha'medaber u'mekayem shekol devarav emet v'tzedek al ha'torah v'al ha'avodah v'al ha'nevi'im v'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh shanatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu likedusha v'limenucha lechavod u'tifaret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach u'mevarchim otam yitbarach shimcha b'fi kol hai tamid le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai mechadesh hashabbat.
Lucy, turn to your right. All right, give the cantor another high five.
Another high five.
Another high five. He's proud of you. You both deserve it. There's something very special about hearing these words chanted so beautifully, these words of tradition, the stories of our people on the lips of our young people. Something that's very meaningful and wonderful, and you chanted them so beautifully. You have so much to be proud of this morning. And so we are going to carry on in our service. We are going to return the Sefer Torah to the Ark, which can be found in your Siddur on page 256. It's a joy to call upon Dorothy Naparella and Jeannie Good to step forward as they have the honor of opening up our Ark curtains. We now rise together as we return the Sefer Torah to the Ark on page 256. Behold, a good doctrine has been given unto you, my Torah, forsake it not, for it is a tree of life for those who cling to it. Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace.
Eitz Chaim hi lamachazikim ba v'tomecheha meushar tiracheha darchei noam v'chol netivoteha Shalom Hashivenu Adonai Elecha V'nashuva Chadesh Chadesh Yameinu Chadesh Yameinu
You may be seated. And now Lucy has prepared these words on the occasion of her becoming bat mitzvah.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for joining me today as I become a bat mitzvah. My Torah portion is Naso from the book of Numbers. In my Torah portion, Moses and Aaron give the Levites the responsibility of assembling and carrying the portable temple called the Mishkan across the desert to their next destination. Without the Levites taking on the responsibility to transport the Mishkan, the Jewish people would not have been able to conduct the holy rituals or observe their laws and practice their beliefs. Even though they did not conduct the rituals, the Levites played an important part in maintaining the traditions of Jewish life that allowed people to worship God while traveling through the desert. Taking on responsibility is something I'm able to connect to in my life. The Levites were given a responsibility and made a commitment to carry the Mishkan across the desert. In my life, I've made commitments to my community in several ways. I've been a dancer for 6 years, and I've made a commitment to my dance company. My commitment to dance requires that I go to 4 days a week, and I participate in competitions on weekends. I have to be prepared with the correct dance shoes, tights, and outfits for each dance. I even have a special bag to carry all my dance stuff, just like the Levites who had to bring all the pieces of the Mishkan to their destination. My dance community, teammates, and teachers all rely on me to know the dance steps and perform at competitions and recently at my recital. They are counting on me, just like the Jewish people counted on the Levites, to safely transport the Mishkan and set it up every day so the whole community could join together to worship God. I also feel a sense of responsibility in my Jewish life. As I become a bat mitzvah, I started Sunday school when I was only 4 years old, and I began learning Hebrew when I was 8 years old. I have had weekly meetings to practice my prayers, and I have spent lots of time practicing at home as well. Becoming a bat mitzvah is a symbol of me becoming more independent. Bat mitzvah literally means daughter of the commandments. Today, I am choosing to take responsibility for my own actions inside and outside of the synagogue. Much like my dance teammates rely on me, and Moses and Aaron relied on the Levites, my community is now counting on me to act as an adult and take a more active role in my Jewish life. There are several ways I hope to be involved in our Milwaukee Jewish community. I love volunteering with my mom at National Council of Jewish Women events to help women and children in need in our community. I want to become a madrcha, which is a teacher's assistant here at Congregation Shalom, to help younger kids learn about their Jewish values and holiday celebrations. However, my favorite Jewish community is my camp community. I've been lucky enough to spend 6 summers at Camp Interlaken. Continuing to spend part of the summer there with my friends and counselors is another way that I can continue to learn more about Judaism. I hope to become a counselor one day. Another way I'm fulfilling my responsibility as a member of the Jewish community is through Acts of Memory Project. Today I have chosen to share my bat mitzvah with an 8-year-old girl named Ida Fistel, who perished in the Holocaust. Ida, her brother Charles, and her mother Ilka died in a gas chamber in Auschwitz-Birkenau on March 27, 1944. Her older sister Janine managed to survive the concentration camps and shared Ida's story with the Acts of Memory Project. I feel lucky that I was able to learn about her, her family, and what happened to the Jewish people of Paris in the early 1940s. I am proud and honored to share this special day with Ida Fistel, whose life tragically ended. I would like to thank everyone who helped me prepare for today. I am proud of all the hard work it took to get here, but I couldn't have done it without a lot of help from my congregation and my family. I would like to thank Cantor Perper for helping me study Torah and Haftarah. Thank you to Sam and Miss Green for helping with my blessings and prayers. Rabbi Noah and Rabbi Kozlowski, thank you for helping me understand my Torah portion and with my speech. Now for my amazing family. Grandma Great and Auntie Jeannie, I'm so happy you're here with me today. You both have been a big part of my life. I love coming up north and spending time with you. You both give the best hugs, and I know how much you love me, even though we don't get to see each other as often as I wish. I also don't get to see my Uncle Larry, who lives in Colorado, my Auntie Barbie, who lives in California, and Auntie Rita, who lives in New York, as often as I like to, but I'm so happy they traveled from so far away to celebrate with me today. I also have to shout out my Minnesota cousins. I love you all, and it means so much to me that you're here today. Thank you for being a part of it. Uncle Noah, Auntie Becca, Hirsch, and Levi, I love coming over to your house. I always have so much fun. Auntie Becca, thank you for changing Torah today. It was so special to share the bima with you. Hirsch and Levi, you're both amazing little cousins. We always have fun playing in the basement, making up shows, and I love babysitting for you guys. You always make me feel loved, and thank you for all your support getting me ready for today. Uncle Noah, thank you for always making me smile and for giving me my favorite nickname, Jelly Bean. I love you all. Uncle Casey, Auntie Andrea, Cam, and Ellie, thank you for everything you've done for me my whole life. Thank you for having me over for sleepovers. We always do so much fun stuff, like painting nails, cooking, and playing video games. Auntie Andrea, you understand my love for TikTok and social media. You always ask me questions about what's going on in my life. Uncle Casey, I have great memories of us building Lego sets and playing board games. I'm so lucky you guys are my godparents. Cam, I know we can always talk about video games and math equations, and I love that I can make you laugh until we can't breathe. I love you, buddy. Ellie, you're my only girl cousin, and we have a very special bond. I love dressing up with you, playing dolls, or going on imaginary plane rides. Thank you for all being a part of today, and for all your support and love. Grandma and Grandpa, you both have played a huge role in my life, and I know I would not be the person I am today without both of you. I'm sure it would take forever to list everything. I also love getting to spend time with you, playing Bop It, Uno, Skibbo, or watching our mermaid show. I have a blast at our sleepovers and on summer days in the pool. Grandma, I love just talking to you because you can make me laugh and you tell me the most interesting stories. Grandpa, you're always there for me when I need you, and I can always rely on you to make me my favorite dinners. You both make holidays and birthdays so special with all the thought you put into every detail. I love you both so much. Thank you for sharing today with me and being so supportive. Mimi and Baba, I know how much today means to you, and I'm so happy to share it with both of you. Mimi, you and I have always had a special connection to each other. Shopping, dancing, singing, and art projects, and hallway fashion shows. We both love all of it. Your enthusiasm for life, I love your enthusiasm for life, and that you are so loving and kind. Baba, I want to thank you for teaching me things and always making me laugh. You teach me the most interesting things about the world and history. I can tell where my dad gets it from. I love going to Florida with the both of you and jumping waves in the ocean. I would not be who I am today without my Mimi and my Baba in my life. Thank you for everything you did to help me get ready for today and for all your support and love. I love you both so much. Jake. Oh, I'm just kidding. Thank you. Thank you for supporting me through this journey and driving me to Bat Mitzvah training and to my dance classes. I know we have times when we don't get along, but at the end of the day, I know I can always count on my big brother. I don't always say it, but I truly look up to you and appreciate you. I'm glad I've got you in my life. Thank you for making little moments with me that I'll remember forever, and thank you for bringing me brownies from your work and keeping my sneaker game on point. I can't wait to have more fun, more adventures, and more laughs with you. I love you, Jake. Mom, thank you for making everything about today possible. All my life, I've been so lucky to have you as my mom, but also my lifelong best friend. I am so lucky that I feel so comfortable talking to you about my school, my friends, dance, and whatever's going on in my head. At any given moment, I know you will always listen and give the best advice. Mom, I look up to you and the way you work so hard and push yourself. Every day you get up so early and get home late at night, but you still find time to know everyone's schedule, where we are, where we're supposed to be, and you do it all with a smile on your face. You take care of us, Mom. You're the glue of this family. Somehow you keep it all together. Thank you for being the best mom in the world and showing me that being kind to everyone and supporting your family in whatever they do is the right way to live. You always try to make things better, and if I show interest in something, you'll do whatever you can to make it happen. I'm so lucky that you're my mom. Thank you for everything you did to make today happen. I love you so much. Dad, I want to thank you for making this happen. You made the list and got everything for the party. You have really encouraged me through this whole process. Me and you have always understood each other onto another level because we love the same things: cooking, singing, and making people laugh. We could spend hours together talking about places you've been, my favorite things, and your favorite things. I love how we can do the most simple thing and make each other laugh. I love being your daughter, Dad. You make every moment funny or exciting, and you're always helping me try new things and see new things. I know you would do anything in the world to make me happy, and to be honest, just being your daughter makes me the happiest and luckiest girl in the world. Thank you so much again for this amazing life you've given me and everything you did today. I love you. Thank you all again for coming. I'm the luckiest person to have all of you in my life. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Andrea and Ari. And now it's a joy to call you up to the bima, and Jake as well. Come on up, Jake. Are you starting, Jake? Let me just say something, Jake. You are such a mensch. It feels like moments ago that we were here standing together for you becoming bar mitzvah. And it's wonderful to see the man that you're turning into. And so now you have the opportunity to say what's in your heart.
It's going to take me a sec. Yeah. All right. Wow. First of all, I would like to thank everyone for coming out today. It means a lot to Lucy and I that you are all here. Sisters are more than just family. They're companions for life. They're the ones who share our laughter, wipe away our tears, and stand by our side through every twist and turn that life presents. In my case, my sister has been all of that and more. Lucy, what can I even say? I've been with you since day one. I was there when you were born, and I've seen you every day since. We've grown up together, and it has been amazing. I remember our backyard basketball games, hotel trips, board games, card game battles, and so much more. Lucy, you have helped me with so many things throughout my life. I've learned so much from you and how to interact with people. You are funny, kind, caring, and most of all, confident, and it shows with everyone you meet. You treat people with respect, and that will get you very far in life. You possess a remarkable spirit of kindness and generosity. You go out of your way to help others, always putting their needs before your own. Whether it's volunteering at local events or lending a listening ear to your friends, your compassion knows no boundaries. Your acts of selflessness
selflessness have touched countless lives, and your impact on our community is incredible. Beyond your kindness, you are a beacon of intelligence and creativity. You have a thirst for knowledge that never ceases, constantly seeking to broaden your horizons and explore new realms of understanding. We have seen one another through more challenging times and very happy times. Whenever I feel like giving up, you are there to remind me of my own potential and push me to be better. I can come to you when I need to get something off my chest. When I knock on your door, I know the conversation will start with something like, "What do you need now?" but will eventually transition into something good. Whenever I need to vent about mom and dad, you are always there for me. You can provide a perspective that I don't usually have. Lucy, you have shaped me into a better person, challenging me to be more compassionate, resilient, and kind. I'm forever grateful for the bond we share. Winnie the Pooh once said, "We didn't realize we were making memories, we just knew we were having fun." So today, let's celebrate and honor my sister, an exceptional human being who has touched our lives in many ways. Let us celebrate her accomplishments, spirit, and her unwavering commitment to making this world a better place. Thank you.
All right, Angie and Ari, it is wonderful to call you up so that you can follow Jake.
We all know there's not a chance I make it through this without crying, so I'm going to do my best to say what's in my heart with the least amount of tears and awkward pauses. Lucy, I'm so proud of you, especially today. But I have been proud of you of who you are and the person you're becoming every day since you were born. Even when you were little, you had incredible empathy and emotional connection to the people around you, and that has only grown as you've gotten older. You make friends you truly care about and connect with wherever you go, and you have a quiet and sometimes not so quiet confidence about who you are as an individual. You are kind, you care about others' feelings, you are really fun and really funny. You are beautiful inside and out. You are the first to give a hug when one of us needs it, and the first to drop whatever you're doing to help. You are sweet to your core. As we all prepared for this day, which I cannot believe is here, I know how lucky we are. You've had a really good life, filled with family and friends that adore you, good health and happiness. You are able to give everything your all, like you do at dance, camp, and at school, because you've had an incredible safety net that those around you will support you and pick you back up if you fall. But I have to say, Lucy, how you handled yourself when you injured yourself at your final dance competition of the season 3 weeks ago really says it all about who you are. It will take you so far in life, and I've marveled that you figured it out at such a young age. You knew to listen to your body and take care of yourself. When others might have pushed through because of ego, willpower, or peer pressure, you were honest and true to yourself, and you knew you couldn't finish the competition that day. It was heartbreaking to witness you watch your next 3 dances from the sidelines, but you knew your physical limits, and you knew it was going to be okay, even if not right at that moment. Then you worked so hard to recover. As I navigated the difficult world of parent and physical therapist, you showed up and pushed yourself to get better every day, one day at a time. Each day, you tried new things and saw that little gains were to be celebrated, and you got one step closer to your goal. You saw the big picture. When I was falling to pieces, knowing that an injury of this severity meant no front walkovers, cartwheels, backbends, or splits at the end of the year recital, you never showed fear or sadness or anger. You assured me, "I'm gonna dance again, Mom. There's always next year." And then you went out and did your very best. You went out the following week and you were able to dance. It wasn't 100%, but you never let that bother you. You were still happy and proud of what you could do instead of focusing on what you couldn't. It's a humbling moment when your children teach you things about life, taking care of yourself, working hard to reach your goal, seeing the big picture, doing your best, and being so proud of what you can do instead of focusing on what you can't. There's no better advice I could give you this day than to just stay true to those parts of you that are already there. You are wise beyond your years, honey, and I hope you know how very uncommon it is to have figured all this out at such a young age. I'm sure there'll be times that you need reminding, but that's what your family and friends are for. The people in this room, your safety net to support you and pick you back up after you fall. And I will be right there by your side because I'm the lucky one that gets to be your mom. It's a beautiful life, Lucy, and it's so bright for you. Keep taking chances, keep being confident in who you are, keep laughing and making others laugh, and most of all, be kind. The world needs more Lucy. I can't wait to see what you'll do.
And that concludes the fourth stage of Jews in China. Sorry, wrong speech. My sweet Lucy, parents with multiple children often say, I don't have a favorite child. I love them the same. While your brother may assert that I do in fact have a favorite child, he is sorely mistaken. However, it would be ridiculous to say that I love you both the same. Nothing could be further from the truth. While there is commonality in my love for each of you, it is the differences that make the bond between us so special. I've spent my life learning to be the person I want to be, as a businessman, a friend, a mentor, a son, a husband, and of course, how to be a father. In nearly all of these areas, I had people in my life that I wanted to emulate, people I believed could show me the way to conduct myself, express myself, and interact with the people I love. In most cases, I didn't have to look far outside my home to find these examples. I learned how to work hard by watching my parents. I learned lessons about how to treat people you care about and how to earn the respect of one's peers. I learned how to live a happy married life while still having a life of your own that is independent and fulfilling. From my father, I learned how to love your sons, how to hold them accountable, let them stumble, let them fall, and then help them up and guide their next step forward. From my mother, I learned another kind of love. Unconditional, unwavering, and unapologetic love. The kind of love that makes people feel grounded. The kind of love that makes people confident. The kind of love that builds a foundation for the rest of your life. That is how your Mimi loved us and still does to this day. She loves us with every piece of her heart, and that has made all the difference in who I am today. When Jake was born, I hoped to live up to the legacy of my forefathers. If I could love Jakey the way that my dad loved me, everything would be right in the world. What more could I ask? But when you were born, my sweet Lucy, everything was different. I had to learn how to love a daughter, something that was totally new to me. As you see, your mom had a map for how to have a relationship, mother to daughter, that would produce a lifelong best friendship. I didn't have that map. I thought about the fathers and daughters in my life. There were a few people that came immediately to mind. My Uncle Avon, who loved his girls in the way each of them needed as individuals. So I tried to love you as an individual. I don't love anyone the way I love you. I thought about your Grandpa Joe, who is not a man of many words, but through his actions leaves no doubt that when it comes to his daughter, there is a bottomless well of love that will never run dry. And I hope you know, Lucy, there's nothing in the world I wouldn't do for you, sweetheart, and that I will always be here for you no matter what. Finally, I thought of your namesake, Lucy, my Grandpa Larry. There was no greater example of how to love your daughters than Grandpa Larry. His love was unconditional, unwavering, and unapologetic. When I thought about him, I had my answer. Just like Mimi loved us, I had to love you with every piece of my heart. And I do, Lucy. And that has made all the difference. You were born into our family with your brilliant blue eyes, your crooked little nose, your soft, sweet cheeks, and your incredible personality, which was evident from the beginning. Your Baba used to say, "Have you met my granddaughter Lucy? She has the face of an angel and the demeanor of a steelworker." You are tough, Lucy, but you are sweet. You are strong, but you are kind. You are brilliant and hilarious. You are witty, but you are genuine. You are a true friend, a good sister, a brilliant young woman, and you and your brother are the greatest gifts that life has ever bestowed on your mother and me. Lucy, you are full of amazing qualities like empathy, humor, and you are a good student, and you have an incredible memory. You're a beautiful dancer, you're an incredible friend, but my favorite thing about you, honey, is that you are happy. In a world where people are constantly seeking validation, instant gratification, public praise, you are just happy being yourself. Don't lose that piece of yourself, Lucy. Hold on to it, because if you start every day as a happy person who loves herself and knows she is loved, the world will be a much easier place to navigate. Stay happy and keep making other people happy. From the day you were born, I've said the same thing about you. You taught me how to love in a way that I never understood before you were born. You began teaching me from the first moment I held you in my arms. The day you came into our lives, you became an extension of the greatest love in my life, the love I have for your mom. Your mom is the foundation of everything good we have in our lives, Lou. She is the glue that holds us together. She is the one who shows up for all of us, and she is filled with pride when she talks about her Lucy girl. Watching the two of you together on dance trips or Florida vacations, Starbucks runs, or girls' trips to bat mitzvahs and events makes my heart full, and I know that the special bond that you have will be a lifelong gift. Your mom is our safety net, our warm hug, our way home. Whenever you feel lost, call your mom, and you'll immediately know everything will be okay. I love you, Ange, more than I can possibly ever express. Thank you for this sweet girl. She is the light of my life, but you are the love of my life. Lucy, we have a bond that I absolutely cherish. The connection we have is so special. Listening to music, making up our secret language, car trips, movies, plane rides, vacations. It's all more fun if I'm with you. You understand that my love language is big hugs, and you make me laugh, and you understand my sense of humor. You are so much fun just to hang out with. Since you were a little girl, our daddy-daughter days, hanging around the house, going swimming, trips to the world of WOW and baby ballet, dance parties in the living room, and so many inside jokes it's hard to keep track. You make me happy, Lucy. You make me smile. You have made me so proud today. I couldn't love you more, honey. I'm the luckiest girl dad in the world. You have made a commitment today, sweetheart, and you have read from the Torah. You have studied for a year, and you've prepared for this day. You've made promises, and you've joined a Jewish life with the road that lies ahead. Your Torah portion speaks of dedication and accountability. These are choices, and as you get older, the choices you make will determine the course of your life. People are fond of looking back, of thinking and lamenting on what might have been. While there is value in reflection, and it can be a great teacher, it is the path that lies ahead that provides you with the opportunity to change and grow. Look to the future, my love. Look forward and see that all that life has to offer for you. The world is waiting for people like you. As you grow into the life that lies ahead, know this. Mom and I will always be here for you, to cheer you on, defend you at any odds, cherish every moment with our sweet Lucy. I couldn't be more proud of the person you are, Lou, and I cannot wait to see the wonderful things you can do. Mazel tov, Lucy. I love you with every piece of my heart.
So Angie and Ari, if you would remain standing. And Jake, if you would join them. And Lucy, you've had a hand in making you who you are, so you should stand too. And grandparents, if you would rise, and aunts and uncles and cousins, if you would join them. And family who are friends, and friends who are family, if you would join them. And community and teachers. As we are about to recite words that have been on the lips of parents in moments such as these from time immemorial, the Shehechianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu hazman
Blessed are you, eternal our God, ruler of the universe, who's given us life, who has sustained us, and who has brought us to this very special moment today. And let us say, Amen. I'm a crier, so thanks for that. Please be seated. You know, the tears reflect blessings in our lives. They do. It's important to recognize the blessings in our lives. And Lucy, you truly are a blessing. And it's meaningful, perhaps a little beshert, that found within your Torah portion is the most ancient blessing that we have as a people. And the cantor and I are going to recite it over you in just a moment. May God bless you and keep you. May God's countenance shine upon you and through you. And may God's countenance be kind to you and grant you peace. It's known as Birkat Kohanim, the priestly blessing. It's one of only 2 prescribed blessings found within the words of the Torah. So old that during an archaeological dig in Israel just about a decade or 2 ago, a small strip of silver was found with the priestly blessings inscribed upon it, apparently worn as a type of amulet or charm. That means that it dates back to the 7th century BCE, meaning it's over 2,700 years old. And yet this ancient blessing is still used today. It's chanted as a part of the daily service of traditional Jews. It's read on each of the major Jewish festivals, shared under the chuppah when 2 Jews marry, and taught to children as they're blessed by their parents on Shabbat. And there's a reason why I say it's beshert. It was meant to be that this blessing would be in your Torah portion, because a blessing reminds us to recognize the good in our lives, that which is filled with wonder and sacred and meaningful and not just every day. We bless to remind ourselves of the deep importance of time and people, and the love that binds us all together. And Lucy, this is a moment of profound blessing and goodness. I think all of us here today feel blessed to stand with you as you take your rightful place as an adult within our community. And I know that Ari and Angie and Jake, who just a few short years ago became bar mitzvah, are filled with pride, not only in this moment, but who you are and who you're becoming. And they also provide you with blessings, the blessings of their lives. Ari was talking about it just yesterday, that the generations are connected, deeply connected, in that the values that are held dear, the ideals that are strived for, the joy and experiences of family are passed to us and from us in a beautiful chain of tradition. And you look at your family. They're wonderful. It's wonderful that the tears flow easily because those are a blessing, and the words that are shared and the values that are passed. And Ari and Angie reflect the best values and traditions of their families. They're thoughtful, generous of spirit. They're connectors who bring so many people into their circle and embrace them with all of their hearts. They care about their world, their family, their community, and they're deeply connected to the values of our tradition. They're also really fun people to walk the path of life with, which makes them truly wonderful friends to all who have the privilege of being taken into their hearts. But the next line of blessing is, may God's countenance shine upon you and through you. You, Lucy, are an old soul. There's something very deep about you and the way you approach the world. Certainly a reflection of the values and ideals of your family. That goodness, it shines through you in everything you do. And whether it's your dancing or your wonderful mitzvah project that ties so closely with the beautiful ways your mom makes the world a better place, the close friendships that are so clearly important to you, that surround you with the light that you see this morning. It was good that you greeted your friends. It's a reflection of who you are. All of that emanates through you, and it's a blessing. And all of that brings us to the final line of the blessing. May God shine God's light upon you and bless you with peace. This is a moment where all of us have the privilege of having a glimpse of the future. And when we speak of the journey to the promised land in our tradition, it really functions as a metaphor for the world that is being created for and by our children. And when we see you up here, chanting from the Torah, teaching us meaningful lessons, reflecting the beauty of your family, we get to see the land of a promised future. When we hear the words of our ancestors brought forward so sweetly and with such wisdom from a young woman like yourself, we know that it's a future that's filled with promise and goodness. Because you will shape that world, Lucy, with all of your talents and wisdom and friendships and generosity of spirit, your ability to transcend challenges, and your caring and sweet heart. And for all of that, we know that this is a moment that is worthy of profound blessing. So I have a prayer and a hope and a wish for you. Always remember the sweetness of this moment as you are surrounded by people who adore you and who are proud of you. Never stop shaping the world with your spirit, a spirit that emanates with the loving values that now rest upon your shoulders. And always remember that blessings aren't simply called into existence by the words that we say, but blessings exist in people like you. Don't stop bringing those blessings to the world, for God has brought you to this moment, and may God ever keep you in good health, with sweetness, and with joy. And let us say, Amen. And now, Lucy, I have the privilege of saying some words that are just for you to hear, and then the cantor and I will bless you with that threefold benediction of our people.
יברכך אדוני וישמרך יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך יישא אדוני יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום.
May God always smile upon you, Lucy, and bless you with God's choicest of blessings. Blessing of wholeness, blessing of peace, the blessing of shalom. And let us say,
We are now going to turn to the concluding sections of our service. As we turn to page 282 in our Siddur, as we rise for Aleinu, it is a joy now to call upon Casey, Andrea, Cameron, and Eliana Kurtz as they have the honor of ascending to our bima and opening up our ark doors. Once again, we are turning to page 282 as we rise together for Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומולדים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
We remain standing now as we think of dear ones who've passed into life eternal, those who we have loved and lost. Particularly in our hearts and minds, we think of those for whom we mark the period of Shiva. We think of Kenneth Kessler, Frederick Neubauer, and Corinne Plotkin. We think of those for whom we mark the period of Shloshim, the 30-day mourning period, and a little bit beyond. We think of Evan Bookstaff, Julius Garber, Felisa Grant, Rabbi Harold Kushner, Stuart Peckerman, Janet Shapiro, and Ren Gollin. In addition to those names, too, we think of dear ones in your family, Lucy, who we know are still shining down upon you with the same love and affection that they did in life. We think of Joe and Ann Kurtz. We think of Hyman Domnitz and Adeline Babe Domnitz, Bernard Naparella, Larry and Shirley Kane and Jeff Kane, and Keith Naparella and Avon Domnitz. If there are names that should be added to this list or names that should be pronounced differently than I did, or if you're commemorating the yahrzeit of a loved one on this Shabbat, we invite you to call those names out loud as I look in your direction. May our memory be for a blessing. In addition to the names of our loved ones, so too do we think of all those who died due to war or terrorism, all those who died in defense of this nation and allied nations' ideals, particularly on this Memorial Day weekend. We think of them. We think of all those who died due to the terrible virus of racism and xenophobia, as well as all those who perished during the Holocaust. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled as we turn to words that are sanctified by memory, words glorified by hope. The Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish, can be found on page 294. 294. We read the sacred words of the Kaddish together. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash me Rabbah, B'alma divrach chirutei v'amlich malchutei, B'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala uv'izman kari v'yamru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevorach Leolam Ulamei Amaya. Yit Barach Vishtabach Vit Pa'ar Vit Romam Vit Naseh. Vit Adar Vit Ale Vit Alal Shmei de Kudisha Brichu. Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'Shirata. Tush Bechata V'Nechemata. Da'amiran Be'alma V'Yimru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say, Amen. You may be seated. We learn in our tradition that those who sow in tears shall reap in joy. And so we always turn from sadness and memory to joy and thinking to the future. And Lucy, it's a joy to present some gifts to you on behalf of the congregation. And they speak to this moment and they speak to who you are and your character. And the first gift that we have for you is the gift of this certificate that's signed by the rabbis and the cantor. I hope it is a memory of this day and something that you will treasure always. We also have the gift, hold on, of this book, One People, Many Paths, A History of Jewish Milwaukee. It's a gift of the Jewish Museum of Milwaukee as well as our congregation, and in it we find the history of the Jewish community. It's important to look to the past in order to understand who we are and where we're going, to look to the future. It was meaningful, actually, that we gathered together with your family yesterday to remember Babe and to remember all the ways in which her memory and the way that she lived her life and cultivated this extraordinary family around you. That shines through you too. As you point your way to the future, a memory of our loved ones can guide us. And so we also have the gift of these two vessels. And these two vessels are ones that when you fill them up, they fill you up. And the first is a Kiddush cup. It's a symbolic reminder that in moments of celebration in which we bring wine forward, that what makes wine powerful and holy is time, the time that it takes from the juice to become wine. And when we think about the steps along your path of life that actually began even before you were born, that's one of the things that makes this such an extraordinary moment. And the other is the gift of the tzedakah box. It's one thing that when you fill it up, it fills you up. And not just with coins, but also with the acts that we bring to the world, the acts of tzedakah and the acts of justice that we do to make the world a better place. I know that you're going to continue to fill these vessels with kindness and joy and just the most wonderful spirit of connection and community. May it always be overflowing with blessings. And so I'm now going to invite you to walk with your family over to the S tables, and we are going to conclude our service with a concluding song, and then we'll do Kiddush and Motzi together. And so let's rise together as we join together in Siman Tov and Mazel Tov.
Siman Tov u'Mazel Tov u'Mazel Tov Siman Tov, Siman Tov u'Mazel Tov u'Mazel Tov Siman Tov, Siman Tov u'Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov Siman Tov. Yehelanu, 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 u'Lecho Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, u'Lecho Yisrael. Siman Tov u'Mazel Tov u'Mazel Tov Siman Tov, Siman Tov u'Mazel Tov u'Mazel Tov Siman Tov, Siman Tov u'Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov Siman Tov. Yehelanu.
We now lift the Kiddush cup, and that Kiddush cup contains the sweetness of this moment, the sweetness that you've brought to our community. We recite a timeless blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
L'chaim. You can do it, not too much. It must be a good vintage. And now we'll take the cover off of the challah. And the challah is a symbol of sustenance. And just as that challah is braided so beautifully, our lives are braided too. And so it's a symbol of community and how we draw sustenance from each other. And so we raise the challah and we recite the blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Te'avon and Mazel Tov.
Mazel Tov!
Please do join us for lunch in Klurfeld Hall. It is always wonderful to celebrate together. Ein kemach, ein Torah. Without sustenance, there is no Torah. So please enjoy, and Mazel Tov, everyone. gonna get my phone.